All right, so anime news. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the One Piece is actually real. Have you heard about this?
Uh, okay. So here, for those that do not know, I have only gotten to like chapter 100 or like episode 100. I think they're
So this has
arguably
nothing to
similar.
do with the manga per se. I'm talking about the One Piece is actually in our world.
Oh, in our world, like real. It's
Aha!
real, real.
So the
Oh
creator of One Piece,
no,
forgive me if I mess up his name. I always hear it and I just can't do it. Ichio Oda or something like that.
I
Um,
think he goes back. I think everyone says Oda.
I think everybody calls him Oda. Yes.
Yeah.
So Oda ended up for the accomplishment that One Piece had done, that it surpassed Superman in the amount of what we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Um, like over 600
Huge.
million copies. Because of that, he actually wrote down the secret of One Piece on a piece of paper, put it into a chest, and threw it somewhere in the ocean.
All right. Good luck.
People, there's always been speculation of where it could be, so I have no clue where. I'm never gonna actually do the diving to find it, but I think that's actually amazing that they did it.
What do you think is in there?
Don't
I mean,
know.
like you said, it's a piece of paper, but like, what do you think
Well,
it is? Do you think
what
it's
I think One Piece is?
yeah? Like, yeah. What do you think he put in there?
Good question. Um, because most people think that's like a big treasure, which I think there is treasure at the place because we already know roughly where it is. They're just trying to find. They know the name of the island. They just haven't gone to it. They're trying to
Okay.
find it because apparently the location to it is written on the phonographs. So they're trying to find all the phonographs. As far as I remember, I'm not fully caught up with
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
um, so I don't know. It could be the history of One Piece or something along that lines. That
Do
there
you think it's
is
like
a
all the
forgotten.
blueprints and notes he's had for decades, and he just threw them
So
in a chest?
there's a
And
big question of that. There's apparently a forgotten history of One Piece, and anybody who can, and that's the reason why the world government doesn't want anybody who can read photographs to live, is because it actually there's a way to get the forgotten history through it. So,
oh,
and unfortunately, these photographs are made of materials that they cannot destroy. Yeah, it's a
okay.
good question. I'm wondering if that's it, or if it's something a bit more. I don't know.
Hmm. Okay.
Anyways, we
What to
got a few.
theorize?
Yeah, next, we can theorize a bit more in this a different time.
Hmm.
But now we got some other new animes coming out. Have you ever played Suikoden?
No, I have not.
Okay, they are coming out with the anime for it, which is insane. That's an ancient game. That was on PS1 when it came out, when the original one came out. They have a
Yeah.
remake of the first two on Steam, which I of course bought, and it,
Nice.
it was an RPG, and it kind of had a different thing. You actually one of the I think the second one you had over 100 something characters that you could get. Not all of which are combat characters, but you recruit a ton into your army. It's actually really insane. And it was
Okay.
actually a 6-person battle, 3 up front, 3 in the back. And
Holy crap.
yeah, it was an
Okay.
ambitious game. It was done really well. The storyline was really good. So I'm actually really excited to see this anime. Then we got another new anime, reincarnated into a game world. I've read a bit about, but I don't know too much. It just seemed interesting, so I thought I'd mention it here.
Into a game world.
Yep.
Okay. Real quick, if you could be reincarnated into a game world, what would you pick?
Oof, good one. Um, I can tell you nothing with a zombie. There's no way
No.
I'm getting into one of those. It'd
Nope.
probably be an RPG of some sort, but I'm not sure which one because I want one that I could actually not be a bystander in, if that makes sense. um,
Hmm. I would think my mind goes to like Skyrim because it's one of my favorite RPGs that I've played. But then, and like, if you're the Dragonborn, you can you can actually fight off dragons. You can learn like every
that's
single
a
skill
big
there
if.
is. And if not, well, so I guess even if you are a Dragonborn or you're not, they're what are they called? The Daedric princes. They are so evil and messed up that I don't know if I want to be around that
Yeah.
world.
But you can also become a werewolf or a vampire.
That's true. Yep,
I mean,
I
we could
could.
go with the D&D one and do some Baldur's Gate. That'd be an
What if
interesting
you're
world to be
Lydia?
into, but
What if you're Lydia? You can't die.
true. There's instances of that, and you could also be
Oh,
affected by the mind flares and become one of them, which
that's
is
true.
apparently not a nice event to go through according to the books.
Yeah.
Um, but I would actually probably want to go to something where I can explore a bit more. Maybe Ratchet and Clank or something like that. Ratchet and Clank's world, where
There
I
you
get to
go.
go through out space, have space travel, have all this fun stuff, have some fun gadgets.
Yeah. Hmm, that's a thinker. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll think about that next time.
I'm saying they're just doing a generic world for this one. And next up, I have another new TV anime. There's actually a few of them that were announced this last week. Um, we so what's wrong with getting reborn as a goblin? Which this is one that I actually read the manga of a bit or whatever. I can't remember if it was a manga or or like a webtoon or something like that. I can't remember where I found it, but I remember the main character from this one. And it was actually
Okay.
kind of interesting because in the world, most goblins apparently only live for like a very short amount of time, like a year or something like that. And they always pass on
Jeez.
their abilities. If this is the one that I remember. Um, but this one, the ability that this goblin has is that they have the lifespan, a much longer lifespan. So they were able to get much more of the goblin abilities passed on to them, and they become the leader of this group and actually make friends with some humans and ends up with some.
Okay. Become the Goblin King.
Yeah, pretty much. They were the leader of this goblin group, and they become friendly with humans. And of course, there's some racist stuff going on because it's like
Hmm.
goblins. Oh no, they're monsters. They are.
Yeah. Yep.
um, and the last one I have on my list is Monster Eater. The Monster Eater. It's actually debuting on April 2nd. I've actually heard a bit about this. I don't remember the details of the anime, um, but it does. Based on the title, you can assume some things about it, like guy's gonna be hunting monsters. Apparently,
We
wants
love
to eat
that.
them. So yeah,
We love hunting monsters and watching people hunt monsters.
yeah. Just seeing the trailers and everything. That's pretty much what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be good or not, but I gotta find out. I can't wait to actually see it and be able to judge it. Judge it.
Yes. We will tell you our thoughts.
Yep. And the last bit, which is actually a good segue to our next one, is about Chainsaw Man. This is gonna be the start
Yeah.
of the Chainsaw Man series. So
Yes.
Chainsaw Man Part 2, which is what we're currently in, will be ending on March 25th. Be the last chapter that they come out for Part 2. I don't
We're
know.
in part 2 already?
Yeah, apparently they're in Part 2. That's what they're calling it right now.
Oh, not us.
Not
But
us,
the
but the
wherever
manga.
current is. Yeah,
Current
yeah.
manga
Okay,
is in
okay.
there.
Gotcha. I was like, what? I thought there was so much more.
No, I
Okay.
don't think we've gone
Yes.
past Part 1.
Yeah, and if anyone's confused, just like I was, we're on volume 8. I think we're really far
We just
behind.
got through chapter 70, so